Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to day 7 of Sustainable Tallahassee's Earth Day 50th anniversary video series. This is day 7, but it is not the last day. I misunderstood how many days are in a week. We actually have one more again for you tomorrow night about electric cars. But tonight's video is about a project that I am very, very excited to share with everyone. Since the beginning of the COVID-19 crisis, Sustainable Tallahassee has really been kind of on the front lines helping people. We have a team of ladies who usually sew reusable shopping bags. They make those kind of, cloth bags that you can take into Publix to replace plastic bags, and they sew them out of old recycled material. And when this crisis started, they shifted and they stopped making those bags, and now they make face masks. The kind that you can wear into Publix now. To help keep you and help keep the community safe from COVID-19. So that's a project that we've been doing now for probably a little over 4 weeks. We have a lot of people helping us to make masks every night, every day. And the video that we're going to show here is just a real short, real small snapshot of one aspect of this that we're really proud of, and that's the drive-through distribution center that we've developed, where you can drive through this area. This is at the Faith Presbyterian Church on Meridian Road in John Knox. And you can drive through, never get out of your car. You can drop off masks that you've made. You can pick up masks for an organization that you represent. And you can also pick up mask-making kits, mask-making materials, if you've seen some of our other videos on Facebook. And you can do all this from the safe of your own vehicle. And all of our volunteers are all masked up themselves. And there's not nearly as much danger to you as if it were a drive or a walk-up center. So, as with the last couple of nights, I'm going to go ahead and show the video, and then we'll have a discussion with 2 of the members of our Rags2Bags team. So, as the video rolls, please go ahead and post any comments that you might have in the comment section there. We'll have a nice discussion afterwards. And please excuse the people on the lawn next to me with their leaf blower. Of course, this would be the time.
Hi, I'm Damian Pasquarelli. I'm with Sustainable Tallahassee. We're absolutely thrilled today to be working on distributing mask kits to local community members and try and get local volunteers to help make kits to meet the need during the weekend.
We started, Rags2Bags has been in business for about 4 years, and we made reusable shopping bags to give away. When we realized, we met right here in this cottage and we sewed every Thursday afternoon. When we realized we weren't going to be able to get together to sew anymore and that we couldn't give away bags anymore, we decided it would be good to use our skills to make masks instead. And so we started making masks and giving them away. And then we figured out that we could do a lot more good by making kits to give out to other people so that they could make masks, so there would be more and more people involved in the process. And that's what we're mostly doing now, is making kits that have enough to make 10 masks in each kit and giving them away to people who want to make them, and then we take them back in and give them to people who requested the masks.
I think it's amazing. It's absolutely wonderful. The outpouring of support from the volunteer community, our board members, and the Rags2Bags committee is unbelievable. They are an amazing group of people who are really working hard and making a difference. Today has been particularly good as our messaging has been effective in getting donations for some of the materials that people can cut these 6x9 sheets of cloth out of t-shirts or dress material or curtains or sheets, and bringing them in. And also, a lot of people who sew as a hobby are bringing in materials that we are short on, the elastic binding and other things. So that's been very rewarding.
Last week we gave a little over 500, and the week before was 400, and the week before was 300. So a little over 1,000 masks that we put it out. It's been a pleasure to be able to do something that might help our community and use some skills and involve as many people as possible. So come down and get some kits and make some.
For all you're doing.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, well, I'm going to bring in now Peggy Sanford and Pam Doffek from our Rags2Bags team. Peggy and Pam, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for all that you were doing to help us make these masks. I could not be proud of you and your volunteers doing this for Sustainable Tallahassee, really doing this for the Tallahassee community during this time. Could you just tell us a little bit about how this project got started?
Peggy?
Well, it got started because one of our team members had a daughter who was working in a healthcare field.
Can't hear you, Peggy.
Oh,
I don't.
man.
Okay, you want me to say it over?
All right, so we were making bags primarily to do for chain of parks and other needs through the year. Am I coming through okay? Okay. And then COVID hit. We said, well, we don't need to make bags anymore. What can we do? And we pivoted to making masks. So there's a team of about 6 or 8 of us who, even though we're in a risk, we all met with each other and we felt safe, and Faith Presbyterian allowed us to use their space. So we would make mask kits, but enough fabric and ties to make 10 masks. And we would make them at home. And then we started the distribution behind Faith Presbyterian on Thursdays from 11 to 2, unpaid political announcement. So you can come through and get a kit and make masks to keep your family safe and have the access and bring them back the next week. And we keep repeating this cycle. And as your PowerPoint showed, as of last week, we've given away almost 2,000 masks to various social services organizations who contact Peggy and say, we would like masks. We haven't filled our complete need, but we've been able to give masks to almost every organization that asks us. Peggy, you want to fill in anything else?
No, I think you covered it. Can you hear me now? Okay.
I can.
Because the only thing I would add is that we found pretty quickly that our individual sewing efforts were not going to be sufficient. And so we decided that passing these kits out was a way to organize, to involve the Tallahassee community. And the Tallahassee community has responded amazingly to our request for help in making the kits and in sewing the masks from the kits.
Yeah, so if on the video there, we showed how many masks you've given out in the last couple of weeks. How many kits have you given out? Do you know?
You would ask me that when I don't have the total in front of me, but we've given away more kits than we have masks. It's probably about twice as many, because we don't expect necessarily for people to bring them back to us. They can make them for themselves and their friends and their family, but the ones that they don't use for their own use, we ask that they bring back so that we can distribute them to the agencies that have requested our help.
That's great, and that's an excellent way for people to get involved and help the community themselves, whether they can sew, so they can actually help sew the mask themselves. We have a couple of tutorial videos up on our YouTube channel that Pam was the star of that show you how to make the masks and how to make the ties for the masks. But then also, if you don't know how to sew, like me, I have no clue how to sew. But I do have a pair of scissors, and I can cut up old T-shirts. I can cut up old material. I can make those kits. I can help make the kits to bring them in. Is there any other ways that the community can get involved and support this effort?
Well, we're taking donations of 100% cotton fabric, T-shirts, and cotton flannels that the mask makers every Thursday are making into kits that will be sent away. Or if you have your own fabric and you look at the instructions, you can make mask kits to then bring to me or Peggy or on our Thursdays, and have those kits that we can then distribute to others to sew and then use or bring back.
Another thing that we do too is that if you do know how to sew or you want to help participate in this, but you don't want to leave your house, right? You're concerned about the virus. We have a a service where someone will actually come out to your house and pick up the masks for you without ever making contact. So a zero contact pickup and delivery of completed masks and of mask making kits. And the information for that is on sustainabletallahassee.org on our homepage. It's a Google form where you go in and you fill out your information, and someone will come by and deliver or pick up the masks for you. So we have a couple of comments here, and folks, please remember, if you have questions or comments, go ahead and post them. Most of these are simply people thanking you, Peggy and Pam, and the Rags2Bags team for doing this. We have, those masks are amazing. Thank you all for everything you're doing. I've relearned how to sew thanks to you all. Librarians rock. I think, Pam, that's for you. One of the other things that I wanted to ask you all about is that I know there's a lot of other organizations that are also making masks. And can you tell us a little bit about how Sustainable Tallahassee and Rags2Bags fits into that larger mask making picture for the community?
Well, there are several ways. One of the ways that I did want to mention is that we're listed on the Mask for Tally webpage, and through that, we've received a number of people who want to cut out fabric for us, but don't have fabric to do it. So we are also enlarging what we do on Thursday afternoons, so that if anybody wants to do this and they don't have fabric, they can come through the drive-through and we will hand them a package of fabric that they can take home, and a t-shirt that they can take home and cut up for us and bring back the next week. So working through Barbara Westcott's site, we have also received a number of referrals that people have signed in there asking for masks. And then finally, I want Pam to talk about our Halstead Hussies a little bit as something that we did as a partnership.
Pam, can you tell us a little bit about the was it Halyard Hussies effort that you guys did a few weeks ago?
Oh, yes. It's been about 3 weeks now. TMH allowed a short group of people to participate in taking Halyard 600, which is their surgical wrap fabric, and making them into masks, as the example of the University of Florida. And so I was able to take about a third of the fabric that was allowable, and I grabbed 4 or 5 of the other Rags2Bags ladies that I've been working with, and we just started making these masks. And over the course of a Friday through a Monday, working 7 hours a day in a process-oriented way, we churned out 96 masks for TMH from the Halyard 600, and we got so close, so I called us the Halyard Hussies, and the feedback was that our 96 masks were almost perfect. Unfortunately, we couldn't continue with the TMH project because the 6 of us are the core of the Rags2Bags cutters, volunteer mask makers, and our allegiance was to Rags2Bags.
Still, though, a great effort and a great way to help out, probably the organization most in need of these materials right now in TMH. These masks, though, they go not just to the hospital or not just to government agencies. Can you tell us a little bit about, Peggy, maybe where else they go? What some of the other organizations that we've donated them to?
Well, we gave them to Planned Parenthood, and we gave them to hospice, and to the Continuum of Care, which serves homeless people or people who are experiencing homelessness. Sunrise Villages, that serves people who are with disabilities. We gave some to the jail, the nurses at the jail who were working with inmates there. Pam, what else? Who else?
Oh, we gave some to the Red Hills online market because they started doing door-to-door delivery, and they hired a bunch of drivers. So we helped make their drivers safe. We gave some to 211 Big Bend for their employees and some of their clients. So it's really been awesome, the amount of organizations that have contacted us for support. And we're trying not to duplicate any other efforts that, say, the city or other mask making groups in town are doing, but to coordinate, like you said, with Barbara Westcott for where's the need and how can we make this streamlined.
Great. Great. And so this is if folks, if you know how to sew.
Can't hear you, Mike.
I can.
Okay.
If you know how to sew, please please sign up with our website here to help sew the mask. If you don't know how to sew, help us to cut out materials and make the kits to sew. And if you if neither of those sounds appealing to you, we are of course always accepting financial donations at sustainabletallahassee.org to help us buy supplies and help us further coordinate this effort. So, not seeing any other questions coming in on the side here, I just want to ask Peggy and Pam if there's anything else you'd like to say before we sign off.
I would, Mike. I'd like to kind of change my hat a little bit from Rags2Bags to a board member of Sustainable Tallahassee. As you well know, as the president of Sustainable Tallahassee, this is the time of year when we ordinarily would be doing our most effective fundraising, and the virus hit us hard. We're doing a membership drive right now to try to help make up for the income that we didn't get during this time period. And Rags2Bags has offered two incentives for people to become members of Tallahassee, Sustainable Tallahassee. One is we had made a bunch of special bags that we were going to use this spring in fundraising. And they have embroidered on them the Sustainable Tallahassee logo and the year 2020. Well, these are going to have a shelf life that are not going to be too much longer. And we've decided to offer these up to any person who signs up to be a sustaining member of Tallahassee, Sustainable Tallahassee, at a rate of $25 a month or more. So this is your opportunity to get these kind of keepsake bags. There won't be any more of them because I was the one who embroidered them, and I'm done with doing that. So if anybody wants one of these bags, this is a way to get one in your hands. For anybody who signs up to be a sustaining member or a member, we do this anyway, we have the regular bag. We will give a regular bag to anyone who signs up to be a member during the month of May or June, or April or May, and the other offers also for the month of April or May. So this is the time, if you're able and you're inclined, to go to our webpage and sustainabletallahassee.org, become a member, become a sustaining member, and get one of these cool bags.
For whatever it's worth, I can't hear Mike, but I can hear Peggy. So whatever you have.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, Peggy, you couldn't have said it any better. And I'd like to go ahead and take this opportunity to remind everyone that Sustainable Tallahassee is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We are an independent entity within the Tallahassee community. We're not a part of the city government. We're not a part of the county government. In fact, we receive very little funding from those two entities. The majority of our funding comes from member donations and member contributions, especially our sustaining members, like Peggy mentioned there, who give to us monthly. They give us a consistent source of allow us to focus on really delivering our programs and not spending as much time on the fundraising effort. So if you are so inclined, like Peggy said, to support us and to support our efforts, becoming a sustaining member is absolutely the best way. And if you do so in the month of April, the next, I guess, 3 days of April, or in the month of May, you'll get one of those really cool Sustainable Tallahassee 2020 bags. Those are going to go quick. And you'll always be able to remember who you got that from. You got that from some of the heroes of the pandemic. Before they sewed masks, they were sewing bags. And hopefully soon enough, they can go back to sewing bags because we won't need any more masks. But
Amen. Amen to that, Mike.
Until then, thank you, Peggy. Thank you, Pam. And thank you, every Rags2Bags sewer and volunteer. We're going to go ahead and sign off then. We'll see you all again tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for our final day in our 50th anniversary of Earth Day series, where we talk about electric vehicles. So we'll see you then. Thanks, everyone.